Aha! So here we are on Saturday the 2nd of November 2024 at the Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital in Stanmore, northwest corner of London. All Souls Day. When I think traditionally one prays for all those dearly departed, and just for good measure I had those joyously living too somehow. Can't stop me. It's just this lovely light drizzle, which reminds me of, I'm not a Shakespeare fan at all, but of the quality of mercy is not strained. This is a speech by Portia, isn't it, to Shylock? We actually studied the blooming stuff at school. I never took to Shakespeare. Quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth like the gentle rain from heaven, or something like that. Old Shylock demanding his pound of flesh, and so on and so forth, the Merchant of Venice. So, well, I'm still at the hospital, as is evident. It's very nearly 6 whole weeks. And there we are. The main operation, for what it's worth, went fine, and then there's a secondary complication for which we're awaiting a vascular specialist from the Royal Free Hospital, where my brother trained and I've worked. Hampstead, London, that is. But they're not exactly, no doubt, they're busy people too, so just drop everything. And anyway, I'm sure Professor John Skinner, whom I'm under, has or is in the process of, or has gently pulled a string or two as no doubt these matters work between these very high-powered types at the peak of their performance. He's 60, my professor. He's such a nice chap, though. I just like him. I'm so pleased it's he and not. The NEOP was originally done by a chap, very nice chap called Mr. Rob Pollock, and I've been with him all the way through sort of the 5 years of delays and cancellations, and all of the 6 cancellations. Anyway, the main job's done, and there we are, secondary complication, and everyone's scratching their heads about it. So I've given them something to earn their keep. As someone reminded me, someone's mother actually. So the soul I obviously recognise utterly is my son, Robert Francis Ross Bush, who committed suicide at the age of 18 on Tuesday, the 23rd of August 2011, aged, as I say, 18, and whom I hadn't seen since he was 15 months old, and everything was my fault. I should cocoa. My former wife had been sexually abused by her own father and was in denial, but she was also intelligent and told accurate, telling lies to the first judge at the County Court of Milton Keynes, Central Milton Keynes, number 351 Silbury Boulevard, I wonder why I know the name. I did schlep around for 5 years trying to get some sense out of the foul little English system, legal system. No, there. It's a draconian decision, he said, tippity-tap on his computer, and obviously thereafter, people just look at the top of the file. Oh, Judge O'Connor has said so. And everything was my fault, which is just utter, sheer rubbish, nonsense, evil rubbish, perpetrated by a woman. To deny a child normal contact with his father and his father's family for all his life, basically. The poor little fellow didn't know whether he was coming or going. Did Daddy love me? No, Daddy was denied the opportunity to love you. Oh, Steve. Yes, but he didn't know that. The glorious upside is that God has given me this utterly rock-solid faith. All the better to serve him, so that's my particular cross, and I accept it fully as God's will, but it does mean it was God's will for my son, Robert Francis, to commit suicide. So if one looks at verse 16 of Psalm 139, all the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. That has to have been his destiny. Of course, one is not meant to commit suicide. I'm glad I'm not God. The world is awash with disastrous happenings, awful things people do, have done, doing now, will do in the future. One is inevitably acutely well. You cannot help but know about the awfulness in this world. Christ will come again. There will be a second coming. It will be a glorious, joyous time. It may be we're living in the end times now. Be prepared for that. Have your lamps filled and your wicks trimmed. Amen. For what it's worth, that is the direction of Yerushalayim.